Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a balanced rack. I'm not seeing a 7. Could there be an 8? Well, opponent changes, so that becomes irrelevant. I am going to play here rather than change. Do I play a long word, getting the H doubled? I don't think so. I think I'll go with a half a 12, keeping a good 4-letter set. Oh, wow. And I draw 3 vowels. Pretty grim. But probably not grim enough to change. I could play Ida, E-I-D-E, which would sort the rack out. I don't think aha takes an S, but it does take a T in front and an M. I'm just wondering if there could be an 8 with this rack, but I don't think so. Great, only 8 points for opponent. And that shows one of the virtues of playing a short word when you're going first. So I do have Ida in rows G and I for a low score, providing a ton of opportunities for opponent. Given how tight opponent's play has made the board, I am minded to change. And I think I'll keep tied. Okay, well, still not great, but I do have a good scoring tile in the J. I have Jedi on my rack, which plays. Vac only takes an S, C only takes an H. I also have G on my rack, but that leaves double I. So not a very successful change, but not completely disastrous. And I have a T for Taha. So I could play Jet or Jet A. Again, keeping duplicate I. So at the moment, well, I'm not sure. Jedi sorts the rack out best. However, it does provide opportunities for opponent. 8-12. Wow, a close one. VNC not particularly useful for, well, for horizontal plays beginning with those tiles because they don't score much. However, one could play beginning above A and H. I was just contemplating a word like jive, but IH not good. Now, just 16 for opponent, that's good. 6-letter lane in column 8, no good for me. So, I do have a Jedi spot. Where might that be? It's not in row I. I've got G'd in row I, but I have Jedi in columns 6 and 8. So I don't think there's terribly much difference between them. If I play Jedi in column 6, it might score a little bit more. However, it provides access to column 5 below the J. And also it sets up an 8-letter lane, a column 8 play ending in E and S. Only 16 points. Keeping EIT. If I play G'd, 24 points, 8 more points, but keeping double IT and providing an easy J spot. I think I like this play. Nothing goes in front of DI. I'm not placing a vowel in front of a premium square. And 6-letter J plays are much harder to find than 3-letter ones. Plus this rack leave without the duplicate is automatically 5 points better. Well, let me just pause. Have I considered everything? 16 points is very little. Despite all the merits as set out, I'm going with this. Okay, great. I draw the Z. Still, wow, is Zeolite good? If it is, it plays in row I. Zoolite is good. But what about Zeolite? I think that may be good. It only plays in row I. I don't think Maha takes an S. There will be some 5-letter extensions of Maha. Maharani's is one which comes to mind, possibly the only one. Now, do I have a 6-letter J play? Don't think I do. Now, opponents played Webb. Fantastic. That leaves alone my zeolite spot. Let's see if this stays on. And it does. Fantastic. Always great fun to get a bingo down with one of the premium tiles. Now, look at this for a pickup. Pretty good. I have Sopia. Where does that play? If anywhere, Vac is a real pain. Takes out the whole of the right-hand side of the board. And Sopia being a 7-letter play, well, there are no spots available. So how about the floaters? Opponent surely drawn to this Z, which would leave alone everything in the middle. So how about the L? Polarize. Wow. That's going to be a big play because it takes a DR and S. However, I think there's a better play in Peloria's Its Anagram, which takes nothing afterwards. Oh, wow. Fantastic bingo by opponent with the K. Leaves alone the Z. Takes out my bingo. And therefore denying me a bingo. Or has opponent done that? Could Sopia play parallel to outwalks? No, that doesn't work. Anything through the E? Any bingo, that is? No. What about the S? Aspersion with an S and an N? No. What about the J? No. What about the D? Diaspore? Diaspora is good, but what about diaspore? Yes, it's good. Unbelievable. Look at this board. Z hanging over a triple word square. Triple lane in column 15 with an E. This is wide open. And I have drawn the first blank. Now, well, I think Faggoty is good. Another bingo by opponent. Unbelievable. Very difficult one to see. Superb spot. So I think Faggoty is good in CSW 19, which we are playing with. That doesn't play. Just wondering. Well, actually, no, I don't think it is good. I think it's good when it's spelt double G and single T. But if it was double G and double T, it would play. Let me just check down here. No, great. Let me forget about that. I don't think I do have a bingo here. Wow, I wasn't expecting another bingo, so I trail. Z still available. I don't think Phasey is good. Gazy is good. Now this rack leave is grim but not disastrous. 51 points is pretty good. It's 2/3 or more of a bingo. It denies opponent that spot. Yeah, and I'm not seeing any alternative play through the Z. I am going with this. Okay, so I have thrifts with the blank as an I. Nowhere for that. Gosh. Yeah, just checking out walks, but that doesn't go. So no vowels, but there are vowels in diaspore O and E. What about this O? So if I do have a bingo, the blank is likely to be a vowel plus a vowel on the board. So let me consider an A with both an O and an E. So fathers plus a T, farthest. Oh, if that E was one square lower, I would have a triple triple. Okay, well, it's not. Opponent plays Eve, dropping just a couple of E's, probably keeping a powerhouse. So farthest doesn't play. Blank as an E. Double E. No. What about this rack plus an O? No. 13 minutes on my clock. So this is my 7, thrifts. That's good. I've got thrifts in column 12. Wow, I nearly missed that. And the H gets doubled. That is immense. What would be immenser, or even immensest, would be if I had a triple triple through the E. So thrift's certainly better than anything through the O, I think. So I'm really concentrating this rack plus an E. Nope. This rack plus an E. No. And yes, furthest with the same demerit as farthest, in that the E is in the wrong spot. So thrifts it is for 89. And I draw the second blank. Wow, what a game. I lead by over 100. So at first glance, this may look poor with triplicate O, but actually O's go well with C, X, and Y. So where's best for these tiles? I've got cocks in column 3. What about column 15? Surely opponent is going to play there. And should I take out the triple triple threat if opponent doesn't play there? I'm not seeing anything great in column 15. Not seeing anything at all, which preserves my blank. But given my lead, maybe I can just outrun opponent. I've got nothing across from the H without using the blank, so I would have hoax for 39 points. Now I have Coxey on my rack. Does that play anywhere? Thrifts is not great for parallel plays because of 3 consecutive consonants. This triple word square available at the bottom. Great, just 3 points for opponent. It looks like they're keeping good tiles and fishing, which is slightly ominous for column 15. Still 1 S to come. And no blanks. The second one is on my rack, so opponent has set up row M for an S. I don't have anything down from the M. Do I leave this E alone? If I could get the X doubled, 12 minutes on my clock, if I could get the X doubled, it's probably worth burning the blank. But I can't see how to do that. Now I was looking for Coxey spots. Couldn't see any, so this is what I was thinking of. 35 points, and look, opponent only got 13 for Eve, only got 3 for Uni. So Cox for 35 is going to give me a 150 point lead. 150 is about what a triple triple would get. So the best opponent can achieve is really simply to draw level with me, and I've got the blank. And a lot of the time, opponent is not going to triple triple. So I don't think playing cocks is reckless. I think it's my belief that it's the winningest play. I am going with this. Oh, wow, and all vowels, which makes it even harder to take out column 15. I have Hoya across from the H, so I probably will play that, should that remain available. That would extinguish the column 15 danger. Remaining tiles, super bingo-y. Opponent may have a triple-triple. Well, gosh, did they. Great set of tiles. 79-point bingo. I still lead by a bingo. Remaining tiles are bingo-y, so it's not over yet. I need to keep scoring. Now, I am going to play Hoya, but I note that there is this FY spot. But I think at this point a triple-triple would be game-changing, so it's got to be sensible to take it out, and the score's good, and the rack leave's good. Pretty good. I have overgot on my rack. Very few bingo lanes on the board. There's row C beginning J-O. And there are the floating Y and A of Hoya. So A, more likely to yield a bingo. I'm not seeing one. I do have sevens with this rack, overgot, groover. I would have regroove through an E. So am I missing any other lanes? I guess row N is a lane, 7-letter lane. Opponent plays Pat for 24, 15 tiles in the bag, that's quite a lot. So row N is a 7-letter lane with lots of overlaps, but there are no 2-letter V words, so the V would need to be at the beginning. Wow, OVER does fit. But overgot doesn't play, and I'm not seeing an alternative. So how to sort this rack out? Oh well, surely this is the obvious spot. Grove for 39, big score. Great rack leave, I'm going with this. And I draw the Q, which is a bit of a passion killer in terms of bingos. I do have IN for an ING word, but I'm still suffering a vowel imbalance. So what to do with this Q? Still one U to come. But given that I have the blank. Oh wow, another bingo from opponent, so I'm glad I've kept scoring. Wow, opponent could bingo for a, well, bingo again. They only trail by 70, 4 tiles in the bag, so I certainly want to leave 1 in the bag. If I do that, then I think even if opponent bingos, I can outrun them. So I could play Souk for 33 down from the S, burning the blank. I'd rather keep the blank in case of a tricky end game. I have Chin on my rack, which would leave 1 in the bag, so I could play Chins in column 11. Interesting, taking out row A. In fact, taking out all lanes on the board apart from row N, the massive overlap lane. And although there will be bingos in the remaining tiles, there won't be many. And L and G can't go underneath the I. What can go underneath the I? D. And N. That's not very much. And is Chins taking out anything ending in G? Well, no, but there could be something. I could play Chin in column 5, Chin and Oon, leaving available the G for me to bingo. Although that would be unlikely, since I'd be playing off I and N. Any other Q spots on the board? 7 minutes on my clock, so I'm not in time trouble. I don't want to play off more than 3 tiles. Wow, well, not wow, well, what about doing this? Gee, 42 points, it's a big score. I'm keeping the N for an ING word. I'm leaving 2 in the bag, but I think that's neither here nor there. If opponent doesn't bingo, well, I think whatever happens, I'm in a very strong position to win this game, and I do like the score, 42 points. I'm not seeing anywhere else to score that much. I'm going with this. So, just 2 vowels left. I don't think opponent has a bingo. I lead by over 100. So, do I have anything ending in G? Gosh, I don't. I do have Enneagon with a G, but it's in the wrong spot. Row C, beginning JO, no longer available, but I do have Joanne in that spot for a pretty handy score. So can I get to 500? Now, what if opponent plays 1 tile to create a new lane? I have neonate as a 7, which could play. Now, let me consider row N for 7s. So, neonate, that doesn't play. What else do I have? Let me have a quick squiz through the alphabet. What about nano B? I think it's good, but it doesn't play. So I'm looking for 7s here with the possibility of playing them in row N. That is nothing. I was thinking of neonate. That's neonate. Okay, no, all I could see was nano B and neonate. So 10 minutes on opponent's clock, 7 on mine. I think this game is won. I guess column 14 is a bingo lane with the Y, with a massive overlap, but I'm not seeing any bingos beginning with Y with these letters. Likewise with the O, but that would require a mixture of N's, F's and S's. Not seeing anything. So I'm only going to bingo again if opponent opens a new lane. Nine minutes on opponent's clock. This are not available, only 6 tiles to the left. Just back from a fantastic tournament in Nottingham yesterday. 2-hour drive, 8 games of Scrabble and a 2-hour drive back. So pretty full-on day, but enormous fun. Many congratulations to winner Natalie. I finished way down the field. So what is going through opponents' thoughts? Pretty unpromising pool of nine tiles. What was their last play? Daintier, so no inference to be drawn as to what they have. Everything is equally likely. And opponent plays just the E. Doesn't open a new lane. What a shame. So, wow, playing off a vowel. Bizarre. Okay, so not seeing that that's created anything good for opponents. But what am I to do? I hadn't given particular thought to this. There is absolutely no bingo opponent can have. So, well, 34 points to get to 500. I think I need to plan an out in two. I do have 6 minutes, and I have the blank. Difficult to get value from the queue, because NF, SF, I've only got one blank. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything there. N doesn't go next to I. Well, I did see something way back in the mists of time. I saw Joanne. Good grief. I can't believe I forgot that, but I think it was just opponents spending so long on their play. But I do have Joanne for 34, and I'm happy with that. Oh, it's not good. It must have a sticky S. That's a shame. What about Joanna for 32? No. Okay. Oh, no, Joanna has been accepted. Oh, there was one tile in the bag. Of course, that's why I have the B on my rack. So I have B in row B. I also have it in column 14. So a bit of a chaotic end to this game in terms of my thought processes. But I think Joanna burning the blank was reasonable. Pretty much anything I did was winning. But that's not the test. The test is to find a winningest play, which in the context of a guaranteed win means the win with the biggest margin. And although the margin's of the order of 100 points, there could still be quite a disparity between my play and, for example, the best play, if there is a better one. Great, just 21 for opponent. So this is what I'm looking at, B for 25, 5 minutes on my clock. Can I do any better than this? I'm just going to have a super quick squiz. I don't think there's going to be anything better, and I'm not seeing it. And the final score, 405 for opponent, 529 for me, a winning margin of 124 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Absolutely cracking fun and an amazing start. So, wow, here we go. This was opponent's rack. They changed. My rack. And, yeah, you have to go down to death to get the H doubles, and then you're looking at a poor keep. I prefer a half for 12, although it's 10 off the top choice here. You can add 2 points for each extra tile, so that would be 4. And the rack leave after aha is edit, which is significantly better than it. So I think aha is better, and even outside of score and rack leave, there are strategic reasons for preferring aha. No access to double word squares for opponent and fewer floaters, although that's incorporated in the 2-point rule. So this is opponent's rack. They play Vac. And now I change. So G8. Yeah, I shouldn't have changed. I didn't consider plays beginning above the A of aha and through the V. I think all of these, say for example D for 20, keeping IOT, definitely better than changing. I was simply considering plays like Ida in row G and I, which didn't score very much. Now opponent struggling with lack of vowels, plays dim. Egypt, I didn't consider that. 21, C6. Yeah, that's nice. Eidetic for 28, keeping the J. So I do Jedi for 16, keeping a decent rack leave. Yeah, may well not be best, but does have some strategic merit. Wow, horrible rack for opponent. plays Webb. And now I have Zeolite for 76, which was fantastic. And look at this. Opponent has the dreaded UW combo plus the K. And wow, 2 bingos available, and opponent finds one of them. So amazing stuff. And more amazing stuff in my 7 random tiles. And Diaspore, the only bingo, so delighted to spot that. And look at this crazy board. Z in column 1, E in column 15. Opponent finds this amazing bingo of Unsolemn. And I trail despite my back-to-back bingos. I am behind, but I do have the first blank. No bingo, and I have Gazy for 51 to go back into the lead. Opponent now with a Surfeit of Vowels. Eateries, good grief. That would be a stunning triella of bingos if opponents had found that. Where does that play? A14 through the R. And instead, opponent plays Eve, setting me up for Thrifts, which was the only playable bingo. Wow, what a key move, and wholly unaware at the time. I just thought opponent was keeping a 5-letter powerhouse. In fact, they were missing a bingo and setting one up for me. I'm just wondering if opponent had played Eateries, if I would have had a bingo through that E, and I don't think I would. Again, it would have been 1 square out for farthest and furthest. But I get Thrifts down, and suddenly I am in a commanding lead. Opponent still with Vowels, plays Uni. Oxo for 43, I 11. Nice, Core, Z and Of. And Coxie also playable, A3. Coxie and Yo, but setting up a new triple lane. So I go with Cox for 35. Yeah, and I think that has merit. Although I think Oxo perhaps a better play. Now, fantastic bingo by opponent. No triple in column 15, but, well, fantastic set of letters. So in some ways, opponent was close to a triple. Now, I am also suffering from a lot of vowels. I play Hoya to take out the triple threat and dampen the board down. And the opponent has an amazing rack straight after Naifus. This is 7 random tiles and a ton of bingos on opponent's rack, none of which play. Wow. So opponent plays Pat. I have Grove for 39 and 120-point lead, and opponent bingos. So my lead now down to 1 bingo, but the remaining pool unpromising and the board even less promising in terms of bingo prospects. So I played Chi for 42. Opponent plays off a single tile. I'm still baffled by this choice. Why would you play off an E from this rack? Keeping this absolutely baffling, although it's pretty much highest on score apart from Guller. I don't understand that. Now, my rack, and Joanna scores most. Opponent plays a Drug, and finally B for 25, B10, that was my play. So, what an absolutely rip-roaring game. A huge number of bingos, so let me count them. I had 3 Diaspore, Zeolite and Thrifts. An opponent, Naifest, Unsolemn and Daintier. So 3 bingos apiece, and an absolutely cracking phase at the beginning when the bingos were just piling on one after the other, and a super volatile board with the Z and the triple lane. So absolutely amazing stuff. Many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.